News from Duplin County. The Duplin County Library book sale will be held Saturday, April 30th, 2011, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kenansville's Dorothy Whiteman Library. Hardback books cost 50 cents, paperbacks 25 cents, and tapes are $1. The Pork Company has asked Duplin County to provide funding from the county's revolving loan fund for the possible expansion of its meat processing facility in Warsaw. Economic Development Director Heather Beard told the Duplin County Board of Commissioners about their request for a loan from the revolving loan fund during last week's County Commissioners meeting. Beard asked the County Commission to schedule a public hearing for Monday, May 2nd at 9 in the Commissioners' meeting room to review the request for an incentive loan from the revolving loan fund, which the Commissioners did. The public hearing would allow the public to make comments on the potential loan and expansion. The meeting room is located at the County Administration Building at 224 Seminary Street in Kenansville. There was also a public hearing held last Monday regarding the proposal that the county provide the Pork Company a $37,157 incentive for its expansion. The Commissioners tabled that incentive request. The Pork Company expansion project has been known as Project Wilbur. The expansion would not involve any slaughtering. Instead, the Pork Company will be smoking and packing chicken, pork, and turkey products and shipping them up and down the East Coast, Beard said. The expansion is scheduled to take place over 3 years. If the company chooses Duplin County for the expansion, it would mean an addition of 55 jobs at the Warsaw plant, according to County Manager Mike Aldridge. Beard has been putting together an incentive package designed to induce the Pork Company officials to choose Duplin County for the expansion. Companies located in Duplin County or considering locating to Duplin County can use the revolving loan fund to finance business ventures that might not be able to secure bank financing otherwise. According to Aldridge, the company could receive a tax rebate for a portion of the property taxes that would be collected due to the expansion. Duplin County is competing with Johnson County in North Carolina and a county in New Jersey to get the 55 jobs. In Duplin County, the expansion would create a minimum $4 million taxable base investment, according to Beard. Beard had been planning to submit a $20,000 flex cap grant application for Project Wilbur. Economic developers say the business retention and recruitment require the options of incentives and competitive corporate tax rates to attract new businesses and retain current industries. They say county officials should take into account not only the cost of the incentives, but the benefits. Those benefits include job creation, increases to the tax base, promotion of industry clusters, and the ripple effect that new businesses and expansions can have on local economies. The youth conference held recently in Kenansville at the Lois Brick Cooperative Extension Center was a huge success. The keynote speaker was Appellate Court Judge Cressy Thigpen from Raleigh. Panel participants were diverse, interesting, and relevant. They were Dr. Lawrence Rouse, president of James Sprunt Community College, Reverend Michael Maddox, pastor of Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church, attorney Anita Powers Branch of Powers Law Firm, Mr. Johnny Reed, community member, and Mr. Blake Wallace, Duplin County Sheriff. They addressed issues relative to the challenges of growing up and making wise choices for a successful life, dealing with threats, obstacles, and pitfalls with which they may be confronted, and ways to overcome them. The parent workshop was conducted by Mr. Michael Herring, licensed clinical social worker, who is also a licensed clinical addiction specialist, a certified clinical supervisor, and a certified clinical specialist in alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. Lunch was provided, and each student received a gift bag, and many won door prizes. The conference was sponsored by Duplin County Progressive Leadership Organization, DuCoPLO, with the help of East Point LME. DuCoPLO hopes to sponsor a similar program next spring. They also wish to express appreciation to all participants and attendees. Speaking of springtime events, the rebirth of the upcoming Carolina Strawberry Festival on May 14th in Wallace has no doubt summoned the fond memories of old-timers who remember when the town reigned as the world's largest strawberry exchange. Back in the 1930s and 1940s, the Red Berry put Wallace on the map, according to Harriet L. Ferrier of the festival's planning committee, headed by town manager Matt Livingston. Ferrier has researched the history of how the strawberry came to play such a pivotal role in the story. Several stories circulate about how the strawberry plant made its way to Duplin Roads, which was incorporated as Wallace in 1889, Ferrier says. One account states that a railroad engineer by the name of Jack Langston spoke with Ephraim Boney about the wonderful strawberry he had seen and tasted. After being convinced of the commercial value of the berry, Boney ordered some plants and began experimenting. But the Langston story has the difficulty of not being as familiar to Wallace folks as the story of Gabriel Boney's 1880 visit to Baltimore. He was there to buy goods for his store at Duplin Roads when he was invited by a fellow merchant farmer to visit his farm on the eastern shore of Maryland, Ferrier recounts. The friend was eagerly involved in cultivating a new fruit called the strawberry. The farmer gave some plants to Boney, who had them planted in his fields just west of the present Wallace Depot. John S. Westbrook took the early efforts of Langston and Gabriel Boney and turned the strawberry into an industry for Wallace. Through his efforts in the early 1890s, the Duplin Roads area became the nation's foremost producer of the delicious fruit, Ferrier says. Just like Mark Twain, Westbrook died in 1910 when Halley's Comet filled the skies. Westbrook's friend Josephus Daniels wrote in his News and Observer, "There was buried in Duplin County yesterday the man who was the founder of one of the largest industries in North Carolina, the pioneer and leader in the growing and shipping of strawberries in North Carolina. He began to cultivate strawberries in Wilson in the early 1870s. In a few years he came to the conclusion that success would come only through growing strawberries in a latitude far enough south to let the berries get to market after the Florida crop and before the crop further north. He bought land in Faison and there laid the foundation of the strawberry industry." Westbrook's groundbreaking efforts helped turn Duplin, Sampson, and Pender counties into one great truck garden, and the biggest crop was the strawberry, according to a 1937 edition of the Wallace Enterprise. Ferrier's research uncovered that the Westbrook family came to Wallace from Faison in 1901, where they found W.J. and D.E. Boney, Milton Sutherland, and Levi and J.J. Wells already engaged in producing the fruit. It so happened that they had purchased their plants, Wilson and Crescent varieties, from Westbrook several years previously, Ferrier adds. The first shipment of local berries went by rail to a northern market in 1886, records indicate. Buyers started coming into the area around 1903, and then in 1928 the auction market system of selling berries in Wallace came into being, Ferrier explains. Ferrier interviewed J.D. Teachy, a produce grower who remembers the demise of the auction market system in the early 1960s. Teachy says the coming in of a co-op called American Exchange that could offer the farmer a better deal, and California berries, were the main reasons the market closed in Wallace, Ferrier says. It would take about 12 hours to truck the berries from Wallace to New York, while the California berry was loaded on a plane that would arrive in New York within 5 hours of departure. This year's Carolina Strawberry Festival will be the first in Wallace since the mid-1950s. What a neat piece of history, and how great that the folks in Wallace are reviving that festival. The Wallace Enterprise is proud to bring you that and all the other news from Duplin County. I'm Rachel Jenkins with Cape Fear Newspapers. You're watching Community News Today, and we're going to take a short break for commercial messages. Thank you.